Claude just launched a brand new tool that allows it to search the web, and this is an absolute game changer when you pair it with everything else that Claude is able to do, because now it's amazing at generating content, automating research, and it can even email people for you when you pair it with the right tools. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly how to access this feature, how to use it, and 5 use cases that are gonna blow your mind. Okay, so turning on web search for Claude is actually pretty easy. All you have to do is come over here into your settings, and this is going to allow you to come into the different capabilities that Claude has. For example, you wanna make sure that artifacts is turned on, you wanna make sure that CSV chat suggestions is turned on, you wanna make sure that feature previews are turned on, and this is where you're gonna see web search right here. And now you'll note that this is only available for Claude 3.7 Sonnet, which is available to everybody. So it doesn't actually matter, just know that you can't do this with Claude 5. So now you can go ahead and actually search for things. For example, find me the latest news in AI today. And then this is going to go ahead. It is going to now search the web, and then it is going to give citations for all of the different places that it looked at. And we could go through here and actually skim through the latest news right here. And then it's going to give us a little update right here. And it's going to give us a citation of exactly where it found this. Now I know what you're thinking, Rob, don't a bunch of AI tools already do this? To which the answer is yes. But what a lot of AI tools don't do is an amazing job at writing things, an amazing job at being able to create content. And now if you pair Claude's ability to do searches for things with its ability to do all those other things, guess what you get? You get a magic content creation machine. By the way, you can also use this feature within projects. So if we come into projects right here, we'll see that I have a YouTube scripts project. And guess what? I can still access this feature from this right here. And this is where Claude really gets crazy. So what I can do is I can ask Claude to do research about a specific topic and then generate a YouTube script. And guess what it's able to do? It is literally able to do that right now. So I am literally just going to say right here, please find me the latest news in AI. Take the top 3 things that are the most interesting and please create a YouTube script in my style from it, because this project that I have right here is trained on exactly how I create my YouTube scripts. And guess what this did? This just automated a bunch of work that I otherwise would have had to do, because I would have had to go through and find the latest news, and then I would have had to go through and actually create my script. But guess what? Claude is now doing that for me. In fact, it went through a bunch of sources to find this breakthrough, to find this breakthrough, and to find this breakthrough, and now it's literally going through and it is creating my YouTube script for me. And what I could say now is say, hey, I don't like this part of this, or I do like this part of this. Can you please change it based on this? For example, OpenAI 4.5, the most human-like AI yet. I actually think that this is good because there was a lot of bad press, and now that bad press has gone away, so we could talk about this. Or if we come down here, there's a transition phrase, and it talks about DeepSeek's R2 model, and that AI now costs 40% less. And then if we come down here, it talks about torque clustering, the path to truly autonomous AI, and it literally walks through each of these things and even puts an end screen call out here. And this is a game changer, because you can't just do this with YouTube scripts, you can do it for so many other use cases. Now, before I show you some of the crazy use cases that this actually unlocks, like being able to do research for you on clients and then reaching out to them, doing research and then creating content and so much more, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest AI tools, because I literally upload videos every single day about how to use these tools, and you're not going to want to miss them. This person puts in here, I just got an email from Paul at browserbase.com. Find information about both this person and the company that he works for so I can convince him to download my app. And then if we go through and look at what this actually does, Claude is going to be able to actually do this, because Claude is going to do research on this individual, and then what it's going to do is draft up an email based on all the information that it did. And now using an MCP, he can literally have this go through and send this email to Paul after he approves it. And this is crazy, because in the past it would have taken somebody time to do all of this research and do all this, but they don't have to do this anymore. And the way that he did this was with Stagehand MCP and Claude's latest feature. And as you can see here, it's now lead generation and customer outbound workflow. So this is a human can be controlling and getting a bunch of different outbound leads to get personalized emails incredibly quickly without having to do that much work. Because in the past, this might have taken 10 minutes minutes, even if it took 5 minutes. I mean, he was literally able to do this with Claude in less than 30 seconds. Now, use case number 2 is going to be getting this to write newsletters based on certain news in a certain person's style. So here's how we are going to do this. We're going to come into projects right here. I'm going to click create a new project, and I am going to put J. Klaus newsletter. And then what I am going to say here is I want to create a newsletter generator that creates newsletters in Jay's tone. I am going to give you a bunch of his newsletters so that you can be trained on this. And then I want to use your web search feature in order to create great newsletters. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click create project here. Now what I need to make sure that I do is give this project some knowledge here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to one of my email addresses where I get a bunch of Jay's different emails, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in his name right here. And then what I'm going to see pop up are a bunch of his emails. So I am going to do a few things here. I'm going to take a screenshot of this so that we have a bunch of his different subject lines. And then I'm going to come in here and I am going to copy this and I'm going to put this in a Word document. So this is one of his emails right here. Boom. We're now going to pull up a Google Drive. We're going to put this in a Word document and we're going to train this project on all of this. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, please find below a few of Jay's newsletters so that you can be trained on exactly how he does things. Now we need to change the spelling of this right here. Boom. And I'm going to put newsletter 1. Cool. We're going to paste this in here. We're going to put newsletter 2. We're going to come back over here. We're going to grab another one of his newsletters. And again, we're literally just going to copy this. Boom, 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 boom. Go all the way down, grab this. We're going to put this here. And then we are also going to do newsletter 3. And we're going to do the same exact thing again. Now think about it. You can do this with literally anything. You could do this with newsletters. You could do this with blogs. You could do this with emails. You could do this with YouTube scripts, TikTok scripts, Instagram scripts. Any type of content that you can create on the internet, you could do this with, and Claude is by far the best for this. So now that I have all of this right here, I'm going to download this as a PDF. I'm going to come back over to Claude over here, and I'm going to set it with different project knowledge. So what we could do right here is upload from device. This is then going to prompt me to come over here. I'm going to come over to my downloads, untitled document. We're going to put this in here. And then we're also going to put this screenshot in here. So in addition to that, if we come into project instructions right here, we could give it a bunch of relevant information. So I'm going to say I have trained you on how Jay writes his newsletters. I want to be able to give you a topic and you give me the subject line plus newsletter for that topic. Okay, so from here, what we can now get this to do is we could say, please look up trends. Please look up trends in the creator economy, and then write a newsletter on the top 10 trends. Now, what this is going to go ahead and do is this is going to use the web search feature, and it's going to use all the project data that we just uploaded in here. And it's going to write this in Jay's tone. And this is incredible because, again, you could do this for literally so many different things. You could get this to write a book. You could get this to write an ebook. You could get this to write newsletters. You could get this to write blogs, and you don't just have to copy somebody else's style or tone. You could take your top favorite blog people or your top favorite authors or your top favorite YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, anybody, and then this is going to go through and actually write in whatever context they typically write in for whatever is actually trending. Now, the next thing we're going to be able to do with this is we can get this to do research for things and then code us something. Check this out. I am going to say this. I want you to research the top 3 reasons that people can't lose weight, and then create a landing page for my weight loss business based on those 3 things. Now I'm going to come through here and I'm going to get rid of these different spelling mistakes that I put in here. But what this is going to now do is research the top things that people are struggling with, and then it is going to code me a landing page based on those. And you can literally do this for anything. So this went through and gave us the top 3 reasons people struggle to lose weight: lack of sustainable approach, psychological barriers, biological mechanisms. And now this is going to go through and actually code us a landing page for this. You could get this to code apps. You could get this to code websites. You could get this to pretty much code whatever you want. Games, a ton of different things, and you could have it do research and then actually code that thing. And this is a game changer. Why? Because again, in the past, somebody would have had to go through and they would have had to do some research. From there, they would have had to think of how to code something. They would have had to think of how to actually tweak something. But you don't have to do that anymore. Or you could have got this to look up your top 3 competitors, look at their websites, all the different learnings that they have from their business that they might have said on podcasts, or they might have said in blogs, or they might have said in YouTube videos or interviews, wherever. And then guess what? Use all that information and code something. Look at this right here. Why 95% of weight loss fails attempt and how we're different. Discover the science-backed approach that addresses the real reasons you haven't been able to lose weight and keep it off until now. Break the cycle today. Now we could go through and it literally has all these different things here, and it built us an outline for our landing page. Again, in the past, this would have taken hours to do, but I've literally been able to do this in less than 2 minutes because I could take advantage of the fact that Claude is both great at coding and now great at doing research, and we can combine those 2 things together. In addition to that, like I showed you in use case number 1, we could literally get this to go through, come up with a bunch of different people that we should reach out to. Maybe a bunch of different YouTubers or bloggers that we should reach out to in order to do affiliate marketing with them. Or maybe a bunch of other brands that we could potentially have a partnership with. Being able to combine all these different things that Claude is actually good at into these long tail use cases is going to be a complete game changer. And that's why I love this tool, even though I think so many people have overlooked this and said, wow, they just got a feature that every other tool has already had. Now, if you like this video, you're gonna love this video right here that walks you through Notebook LM's latest feature upgrade, which now allows you to create mind maps and so much more that completely change exactly how you learn and understand things. I'll see you over there.